The HeartSpark Ecosystem Unified Stewardship Narrative. The HeartSpark ecosystem exists because, for approximately 3 decades, I have carried a conviction that God placed on my heart to help build a new model in healthcare that would unite healing, prevention, innovation, stewardship, and service in a human-centered and transformative way. Long before any company existed, the inspiration already existed. Long before there were entities, strategies, structures, operational models, or organizational plans, there was already an assignment. The calling came first, the ecosystem came later. Around 9th grade, there was already a growing awareness that my life would involve more than pursuing a conventional professional path. Even before I possessed the language to articulate it fully, I sensed that medicine, science, innovation, teaching, leadership, building, and service would eventually converge into one integrated life assignment rather than remain separate pursuits. Over the decades that followed, the calling matured through medicine, cardiovascular science, oncology, collaboration, research, scholarship, innovation, mentorship, entrepreneurship, leadership, adversity, systems building, and spiritual refinement. Each stage clarified another dimension of the vision. Eventually, it became unmistakably clear that no single organization could fully carry the breadth of the assignment. Healing required one structure, wellness networks required another, innovation required another, mentorship required another, physician empowerment required another, intellectual stewardship required another, advocacy and compassionate outreach required another. The HeartSpark ecosystem therefore emerged as a coordinated stewardship framework designed to carry multiple expressions of one lifelong calling. Every entity exists because a distinct dimension of the assignment required a dedicated vessel, Heart Prosper PC, the silent company presiding over the HeartSpark ecosystem entities consortium, parent company to my HeartSpark PC and my LifeSpark PC. Preventive Cardio-Oncology, LLC, a wellness network and management services organization hosting the internship program. My HeartSpark PC, a multimodal medical practice and innovation hub for wellness and technology. My Heartopulence, LLC, a creative lab advancing research, innovation, and education. HeartRisk, Tech, LLC, a platform developing and licensing heart risk assessment tools. Dr. Brown Cares, LLC, a consulting and digital scholarship company. My Life Spark PC, an incubator for independent micro-franchise-based medical practices. My HeartSpark Foundation, Inc., our nonprofit partner leading research, advocacy, outreach, and education. Together, these entities form one cohesive, mission-driven ecosystem. These are not disconnected businesses. They are coordinated expressions of one burden carried over decades. The ecosystem exists because the assignment eventually required structure. The structure exists because stewardship requires order. The order exists because the calling was never intended to remain abstract. At its deepest level, the HeartSpark ecosystem represents stewardship before scale, healing before visibility, obedience before opportunity, purpose before prestige service, before self-promotion, alignment before expansion, wisdom before acceleration, and faithful responsibility before recognition. The ecosystem was never intended merely to generate organizations. It was intended to help build systems that protect humanity while advancing healing, prevention, leadership, education, innovation, dignity, compassion, sustainability, and long-term flourishing. Every entity ultimately traces back to the same source, a lifelong conviction that healthcare, leadership, innovation, mentorship, scholarship, and service could become more integrated, more compassionate, more preventive, more humane, and more faithful to the deeper purpose of healing itself. The ecosystem, therefore, is not primarily a portfolio. It is stewardship of a calling, and the companies remain vehicles through which that calling is being carried responsibly across generations.